So, I mean, the police themselves, and I'll bring you in at this point. The police themselves, Kevin, we heard earlier this morning, our first report was by Leila Mohammed and the story of this 15-year-old who was involved in criminal activity. The police themselves say there have been cases of muggings, people on bodaboda snatching people's purses, taking off, you know. So police themselves acknowledge that people on bodabodas, and I'm very careful not to call them bodaboda riders, people on bodabodas are carrying out these criminal activities. So there's a statement, as I mentioned, that you released the day before yesterday. And here it goes, that your organization controls over 1.6 million bodaboda riders across our beloved country. And then you continue to say that they feed their families just like any other Kenyan out there. And their work mainly entails ferrying pillion passengers and doing deliveries to various clients across the country. So what I'm understanding you to say is, let's not paint anybody on a bodaboda with one brush.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so you continue to say that we would like to say that not all riders on the road are members of the Boda Safety Association of Kenya. Their motives on our road are not supported by the, their motive, these are the guys who are not your members, right?
Yes.
Are not, the motive on our roads are not supported by the BAK. All members of BAK work from specific stages which are controlled by their duly elected chairman and who keep all their personal records and that of their motorcycles. And just allow me to scroll up because I see the page cuts off here. But we have received with great concern cases of some riders robbing members of the public, especially within Nairobi CBD. We would like to state categorically that those suspected are not members of the BAK. Their stages are not even known to us. We would urge the security forces involved in curbing them to continue being firm on them. We are ready and willing to continue working closely with the agencies involved in sharing relevant information that will continue leading to their arrest and arraignment before court. To face justice. Now, Kevin, are you conceding that there is a criminal element among bodaboda riders?
Yes. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me here. First of all, we need to differentiate between thugs on a motorcycle and the bodaboda riders. Because a true bodaboda rider who wakes up early in the morning, he knows this is my office. For example, here at Nation, you have some guys who stand just outside here. When you get out, you'll see them. That person, he knows that is where he works. There's no day he will use that motorcycle to rob someone here, then comes back and stand there again. These are just few elements who are coming from nowhere. They come rob people and run away on a motorcycle. When you look at the history, you find that sometimes back, people used to rob people maybe on foot, others were using cars, but considering there is a lot of traffic jam right now, you can't run away with the car. Considering that it is easier now to access a motorbike. You can just go get a loan. With 15,000 shillings, you can own a bike. Or with even 5,000, you can go and get a bike from the Shylocks. So these guys are taking that advantage to get a motorbike for stealing purposes only. And that's why we are saying we as an organization, we are not part of that. Because our people are hardworking young men who are focused. And I was listening to my friend here when he said that there are some few elements that are pushing these young guys to steal because maybe they don't have something to eat. But that does not justify that you go and kill someone, you know, because when you look at the bodaboda sector, we are ready to accommodate anyone. If that motorbike they're using to steal from people, they can use it to ferry people and earn, in fact, a decent and a good living. When they steal that phone or they stab you and take a phone, they are going to sell it at 500 shillings, which does not make sense. Yet when they can easily use that motorcycle they're using to rob people with, get a stage where they can operate from and earn up to 1,000 shillings every day, you see. So I think the cases have increased, and I think some people think that I'm a police officer or I'm a security agency because the phone calls I receive across the country because of muggings on a bodaboda, they have really increased for the last 2 months.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're saying in your experience there is anecdotal evidence?
Yes.
That there has
in fact,
been a rise.
one of my guys is here. He was accosted on last week, but one on Sunday with the 2 guys on 4 guys. They came with the 2 motorbikes to accost him. So it is a real thing. It has happened to someone that I know, very close to me.
So you're saying in the last 2 months you've been receiving more calls than previously?
Yes, and the cases are increasing each and every day. There's no day that can pass without getting like 10 cases of muggings.
So why do you think that is? Do you think it's the state of the economy?
One is the state of economy, and secondly, I can put it on the government. You know, for some time back, we have been working very closely with the Minister of Interior, and the Waziri was so tough on matter security. But I think these guys have now, they think the government have relaxed, because so far you have seen all those things going around. You have not had any serious communication from the government about the state of security in this country on the motorcycles. Because I remember we used to work with the Minister of Interior where we could have meetings. When such a thing happens, we have serious meeting, we discuss, we find the solution, where is the root cause of these issues. But so far, there's nothing you have heard from the Minister of Interior about the state of security in this country. So we just want to urge the Minister of Interior to be proactive now. Let's work together, because we can easily support them. You know, for us as an organization, we have coordination across the country. We know each and every one. We know how we can support them to achieve their mandate of security.